Imagine a world that looks and feels just like the Victorian era. Hissing steam engines, flickering gas lamps, the whole 9 yards. Now, what if I told you that just beneath that familiar surface, there's a hidden reality, a world of cosmic horror, secret societies, and ancient gods whispering madness into the minds of anyone who dares to listen? That is the world of Lord of the Mysteries, and it is a ride unlike any other. If you've heard the name floating around or seen the incredible art and wondered what all the hype is about, you're in the right place. This story is massive, and jumping in can feel intimidating. So think of this as your spoiler-free starter guide. We're going to explore the setting, meet our protagonist, and break down the truly unique and terrifying power system that makes this universe tick. At first glance, the world of Lord of the Mysteries feels like a period drama. It's the year 1349 in the Fifth Epoch, and society is deep in its own industrial revolution. You'll recognize nations inspired by Victorian England and France, teeming with political tension, new technologies, and rigid social classes. Airships drift across the sky, newspapers spread gossip, and the clang of machinery is the new anthem of progress. It's a world of top hats, typewriters, and sprawling, bustling cities. But all of that is just scratching the surface. For most people, things like monsters, miracles, and magic are just spooky stories you tell children. For a very select few, however, the supernatural is terrifyingly real. Out of the public eye, a secret war has been raging for centuries. On one side, you have ancient churches wielding divine power, hunting down anyone they label a heretic and locking away forbidden knowledge. On the other, clandestine groups like the fanatical Aurora Order or the mysterious Secret Order are plotting in the shadows. They fight for control over reality-bending artifacts and the unnatural powers that come with them. This isn't a world where science and magic are opposites. They're strange, unsettling partners. It creates this constant, eerie feeling that something is just off. Every shadow could be hiding a secret. Every locked door might conceal a ritual. Here, history itself is a weapon, and learning the truth about the past is a very good way to get yourself killed. The normal world and the hidden world of these beyonders exist side by side in a fragile balance that feels like it could shatter at any moment. So, how do we get a glimpse into this labyrinth of secrets? We see it through the eyes of our protagonist, Klein Moretti. Or, more accurately, the man who suddenly finds himself inhabiting Klein's body. The story kicks off when Joe Mingri, a man from our time, awakens in this strange Victorian world. He has a new body with someone else's memories, a fresh bullet hole in his head from an apparent suicide, and a note on his desk that says simply, "Everyone will die, including me." From that one terrifying moment, Klein's journey begins. He's our anchor in the chaos. Just as confused and overwhelmed as we are. He has to figure out how to pay the bills, how to care for a family that isn't his, and why the original Klein took his own life, all while hiding the impossible truth that he's from another world. What makes Klein such a compelling protagonist is that he's cautious, and at his core, a fundamentally good person. He's not a chosen one or a born hero. He's just a regular guy thrown into insane and often horrifying situations. His main goal is painfully simple: survive. And if possible, find a way back home. You feel his fear, you understand why he plans every move with such care, and you share his shock as he slowly uncovers the world's true nightmarish nature. His journey is a desperate search for the truth, where every answer he finds only leads to a dozen more questions. Now we get to the heart of the series, the element that truly makes Lord of the Mysteries stand out: its magic system. Forget wizards reading from dusty tomes. In this world, power comes from something far more dangerous: potions. And these are not your typical fantasy drinks. They're brewed from the mutated flesh and spiritual energy of magical creatures, blended with other mystical ingredients. Drink one, and you become a Beyonder, gaining supernatural abilities. But this power comes at a terrible price. The system is built around 22 pathways, inspired by the major arcana of a tarot deck. Think the Fool, the Magician, or the Hanged Man. Each pathway is a ladder to godhood, with 9 levels called sequences. You start at the bottom, sequence 9, and climb your way towards sequence 1, a level of near-divine power. But advancing isn't as simple as drinking another potion. Every time you do, you take a monumental risk. The potion is saturated with the leftover consciousness and madness of whatever it was made from. If you drink it unprepared, you risk losing control, which means transforming into a monster, going completely insane, or simply dying on the spot. So how do you advance safely? This is where the most brilliant and terrifying part of the system emerges: the acting method. To digest the potion's power, you must act according to the core concept of your sequence. For example, a seer must truly become a seer. They must observe, gather secrets, and avoid direct conflict. An assassin has to fully embrace the life of a killer in the shadows. It is method acting for your very soul. You have to become the living embodiment of your power. The higher you climb, the more you risk your original personality, your very humanity, being devoured by the role you're forced to play. It's a constant battle to hold onto yourself against the encroaching madness that comes with power. In this world, every step forward costs something, be it your secrets, your sanity, or your sense of self. The line between becoming a god and becoming a monster is razor thin. The Beyonder system is one of the most intricate and compelling parts of this world. Each of the 22 pathways has its own unique abilities, rituals, and horrifying dangers. If you find this as fascinating as I do and want deep dives into specific pathways, the lost history of the world, or the lore behind the secret organizations, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. We have many more mysteries to uncover together. How does a man, completely lost and out of his time, begin to make sense of all this? Early on, in a moment of sheer desperation, Klein performs a luck ritual he read about. The ritual unexpectedly flings him into a mysterious, foggy space that seems to exist outside of time and reality. He discovers he can pull other people into this space with him. In a flash of panic and genius, he dons the mask of a powerful, ancient being. He calls himself the Fool. This is the birth of the Tarot Club, and it becomes a cornerstone of the story. It begins as a secret meeting between Klein and two strangers he pulls in by accident, a noblewoman he names Justice, and a tough-as-nails adventurer he calls the Hanged Man. Believing him to be a godlike entity, they agree to meet regularly, trading forbidden knowledge, exchanging resources, and pursuing their own goals under his supposed protection. The Tarot Club becomes a perfect mirror of the world itself. Its members, all taking code names from the major arcana, come from completely different walks of life. Nobles, church-sanctioned beyonders, rogues, and outcasts. They are all haunted by their pasts and driven by their own ambitions. For Klein, the club is both his greatest asset and his most stressful performance. He must maintain the facade of an all-knowing god, using his limited knowledge from Earth and his own sharp wits to guide the others, all while secretly learning about the world from them. The club is his sanctuary, his spy network, and his stage. And as the story unfolds, the fate of the world begins to turn on the actions of this strange secret group. So, what is it that makes Lord of the Mysteries so exceptionally good? First, it's a story built on breathtaking layers of mystery. Every single detail, every side character, every scrap of history is a breadcrumb in a much larger puzzle. The plot is a massive web of conspiracies and forgotten secrets stretching back for centuries, and watching it all click into place is deeply satisfying. Second, the psychological struggle is real and profound. The core conflict is the constant fight to hold on to your humanity while wielding inhuman power. This isn't just about getting stronger. It's about surviving the terrifying risks that come with that power, making every victory feel earned and every advancement feel dangerous. And finally, the stakes are truly epic. The story begins with one man's personal mystery, but rapidly expands to encompass secret wars, apocalyptic plots, and the terrifying influence of cosmic beings far beyond human comprehension. Lord of the Mysteries is a story where an ordinary history graduate can begin the climb to godhood, where even gods can go mad, and where some names are so dangerous they should never be spoken. It's a journey into a universe where every shadow holds a secret, every ounce of power has a price, and the greatest mystery of all is what it even means to be human. So, what part of this world intrigues you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, hit that like button and share the video with your friends. Also, you can check out other exciting recaps on our channel.